Good morning, BookTube. It's Tony here from Locks to Reads, and today I'm going to do the end of year tag for 2024. Kieran of Kieran Reader, our favourite booktuber, tagged me to do this. As a result, I made a slightly more effort clothes-wise today, in honour of Kieran's sartorial elegance. Anyway, let's get on with things. Are there any books you've started this year that you need to finish? There's loads, but the most important one is Trotsky's History of the Russian Revolution. I started this in May with Christy Lewis of Dostoevsky in Space. I think May we started. I still haven't finished it. I've got 239 pages left, 919 pages. I'd like to get that finished this month, so I don't have to carry it into the new year. It's not that I'm not enjoying it; it's just that it feels like it's been around my neck for months, which it has. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? No, sorry, I don't really think of reading in terms of seasons. I know it's a big booktube thing, but it's not the way my mind works. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? I do want to read Herald of a Restless World, which is by Emily Herring, which is a book about Henri Bergson, and it's out now, so it's not waiting to come out. But it just sounds like a fascinating book about a man who I only know because of a Monty Python sketch. But also the other thing I wouldn't mind reading, which isn't out till February, so I don't know whether this counts, but I've got a copy from NetGalley, is How to Be Avant-Garde, Modern Artists and the Quest to End Art by Morgan Falconer, which I used to be very snotty and dismissive of modern art before I actually started going to Tate Modern and actually start talking about things I actually have seen. And it's always useful to have a good history of a movement or series of movements in this case. So yeah, that's the other one. What 3 books do you want to read before the end of the year? None of these are actually from this year. Matter by Iain M. Banks, which is the next book in the Culture series read along that I've been doing to myself very, very slowly. It's a reasonably chunky boy, but I always find Iain Banks's books quite not easy to read, but fairly straightforward to read. I've been really enjoying my read and reread of the Culture series. I've read a lot of them a long time ago, but it's been a while since I've read them. And also I haven't read a couple of them. From this one onwards, I think I haven't actually read them. So yeah, that's one. Next up, the word for world is forest. Again, like the Iain M. Banks one, this is part of a Ursula K. Le Guin slow read along that I've been doing, of the Hain series in particular. There's this one and The Dispossessed that is next. I'm reading in publication order. That's the way my mind works. So there's that one, and my reading group. I mentioned this yesterday in my video about for what I'm reading in my TBR. This one, fictions by Jorge Luis Borges. Jorge, however you say it. Sorry, I vowed that I wasn't going to do this when I did a booktube channel, so I need to improve. There you go. This is a famous short story collection. I've read the first story. If that's anything to go by, I think I'm going to really enjoy this. It's strange, and I think it's going to be one where I have to really. I think there are things in this story that I've totally got over my head, which isn't something I dislike. I think thinking on things and going back into them is quite a good thing in my opinion. So those are the 3. They weren't even mentioned on my list yesterday. You can see how mad my TBR for December is theoretically. What is there a book that you think could still shock you and become your favourite book of the year? Julian by Claire Gilbert. It's on my list to read. it was recommended to me by, is it Jen the librarian? Sorry, Jen. I will put a link to her channel and to Kieran's actually on down below when I do my notes for this. It's about Julian of Norwich, who was a medieval English and I can't remember what the correct term is, but basically she walled herself, not walled herself, yeah, walled herself up in a church, and yeah, and basically, yeah, I think that's not much to say. And she's a key medieval figure, and unusually a woman from medieval times about whom we know some information and who we have heard her own writings, which is, let's put it mildly, uncommon. And have you started making reading plans for next year? I've already made them. They will probably all fall apart 5 minutes into January. I am the sort of person that when they were young made really in-depth revision timetables with colour coordination and lots of pretty things to make it look really cool, and actually end up doing no revision because I was so busy spending my time creating revision timetables. So the chances of the TBR that I've created surviving the year is probably zero. There's one main program in there which is to do my what I call my birthday reading thing. I picked a book from every year since I was born, which is a long time ago now, and I have that's my fiction. That's most of my fiction reading, but there are other things in there. There's a non-fiction plan, and I will find books that I want to read that I haven't even come out yet, or I'll see something in the library. So it's a plan. It's a ridiculous plan. It will probably never survive the January, but we shall see. So there you go. That's the end of the year tag. I hope you found that interesting. If you didn't, don't tell me. Have a good day, and I will speak to you soon, BookTube. Bye bye.